So in this slide, we are going to learn about the context piece. Yeah, in the E-class exam, I think I have one mistyping at the time. So some of you asked me whether it is content or context, so I make mistakes. Okay, so content. Now we are learning about context. What is context? So the context-aware recommendation. So we will learn what is context-aware, and we will learn what is context, and then how to collect the context, and how to identify the relevant context. And we are going to learn just a basic algorithm about the context filtering and the context model. I took most of the materials from this tutorial. Now, what is the difference between context and non-context? Until now, you learn many recommendation techniques, and we are going to make a good decision. However, the decision making usually it is based on the rational and context. So the context, it can be about your mood. So if you want to travel, it will be different between winter and summer. The companion means who will go with you. For example, when you watch movie, are you going to watch a movie with your children? Maybe you don't have family now. Or you want to go with your partners. So it's different. Your chatting kurang, nam chatting kurang, your one movie. Oh, kenyang cinggu. Okay. It's different. Okay, so this is the context. Restaurant. Okay, you want to visit the quick lunch or business dinner. This is different. This is the occasion. Okay. Music. Whether you want to listen to music during you walk out. Walk out. Exercise. Okay, when you exercise, run, or you go to the gym, you go to the fitness center. What is the music that you want to listen? It will be different with the music you want to listen during study. Okay. So that's the context. So what is context? Based on the research from this person, context is any information that can be used to characterize the situation of an entity. So we need to find the situation. So the situation, there can be like two aspects. So it is about the knowledge of the RS. RS is the recommender system about the contextual factors, whether it is fully observable or partially observable or unobservable. Fully observable means we can know everything. So who will go with you, and then why you go to a quick lunch restaurant, and then what kind of music do you know for the study, and etc. So it is fully observable. But partially observable means, I just know some parts. I just know that, okay, you watch the movie with your girlfriend, you watch the movie with your boyfriend. Just notice that one. But I do not know your preferences about when you watch the movie, whether it is evening or afternoon. Unobservable. So we don't know. the context. So this is the most challenging. But there can be also another factors, for example, static or dynamic. So dynamic and static means, you can see from the definition, in the static, everything known about the context. So we can know all the things about the context. Who will go with you? What is the restaurant? What movie that is interesting with you? And so on. But the dynamic, context relevant is dynamic. If you watch movie in Korea, it will be different with when you watch movie in US. So the preference will be different. The partially observable means the partial static context knowledge. Here we have the partial and dynamic context knowledge. If you are hungry now, what will you buy? Are you going to buy a sandwich or are you going to buy a banana? Okay. So it depends on the context. Because you will have another class, so you will just grab a banana because it is easier. So yeah, we can observe that one as a dynamic. But maybe there's also another factor that it is unobservable. Nothing is known about the context. For example, you buy banana now because yesterday you already bought sandwich. So you do not want to eat sandwich anymore. But we do not know. So it is unobservable. So in the representative context means we can fully observable and static. This is good. Fully observable and static. This is the best data. If you have this data, you can use in the context aware recommendation system. But if you go to this one, okay, so it is more challenging. It is more difficult because you cannot know the context. You do not know what is the information. We need to have the interactive context. It is non-fully observable, and it is dynamic. So there are many research on the interactive context, non-fully observable and dynamic. I think in most of your team project, so it will be related to the context. So please check what is the relationship between this class content and your team project. So I just mentioned some of the research work on the interactive context. So adapting the recommendation to contextual changes using hierarchical hidden Markov models. So adapting the user preference changes in the interactive recommendation. So they also another have research about the context adaptation in interactive recommendation system. Context aware music recommendation based on latent topic sequential pattern and message. So there are many works on this domain. So as I mentioned to you, CARS. Okay, what is CARS? CARS is the short of context aware recommender system. So just let me use the small words like this one. So CARS with representative context. What is representative context? It is fully observable and steady. So the observed context means the context are those variables which may change when a same activity is performed again and again. So for example, watching a movie. So we can have at least there are three contexts. The first is the time, the second is location, and the third is companion. So we call this is the observed context. Listen to music. So listen to music, it depends on the time, whether it is evening or afternoon or morning, or the location, whether you are in the class or you are in outdoor. Emotions, it depends on your mood. Maybe after you stress of many works, you will listen to soft music. Or if you are studying, you will listen to some jazz music. It's different. Or occasion. So it means in music, we have four contexts. If you want to visit a restaurant, time, location, occasion. If you want to travel, okay. So the context will be many. Time, location, weather, transportation. So it means every domain will have different contexts. In the traditional recommendations, in the traditional recommender system, the traditional RS, you already learned the collaborative filtering. We have the users and items, and then we have the ratings. But how if we have the more items about the context? Because this is the contextual recommender system. So this is the example. Now I have the information of user 1, T1, and the rating is 3. And the time when the user, maybe the user bought item T1, it was in the weekend, and the location is at home, and he or she with kids. So more information about the context when the user bought or watched this item. And when I have all those information, can I predict the rating of user 1 on the T3 given that the time is weekend and the location is in the cinema, and now the companions are kids. So this is one example of the data or the context-aware dataset. So we have some terminology. We call this context dimension. The context dimension in this case is the time, location, and companion. And then we have the context condition. The context condition means the value. In this case, we have weekend or weekday. We have home or cinema. The context situation. So the context situation means a value in one observation. For example, weekend, home, and kids. So this is one context situation. So this is one context situation. Now the question is how to collect context and user preference in context. People say that it's easy to do survey. So after you buy, then you will give question. What is the purpose you buy this product? Or what is the, when you watch a movie, who with you when you watch the movie? So we can just do survey or explicitly asking for user input. The predefined context and ask user to rate items in this situation. or directly ask users about their context in user interface. This is the traditional approach, but now we can also use some kind of data, okay, like the data crawling. We can use the log data. What is the log data? We have smartphone. If you buy using online, then it can detect whether you buy in school or you buy in your house, and what time did you buy. Is it in the evening or is it in the afternoon, and etc. So we can use that one as the context. And user behavior can also infer context signals. So if you click some kind of website, you can go to another website, so it's also another context. So the context acquisition, if you are in the real time, it means you can look at the, for example, I want to find some local restaurants. Okay, I want to find restaurants in Mohyong. What happened? Then I can figure out if I'm the provider from neighbor, I can look at your behavior. What time did you search? What kind of restaurant do you want? And then what is the item that you click? And etc. So based on the information that you look at the smartphone, it will be the context. If you want to use the navigation, then we can get that, okay, you prefer a restaurant that is a little bit far from your current position. So that's also another context. If you go to this restaurant by car, oh, it means I know that you have car. So that's also a context. In another case, okay, if you look at some travel website, you can know any question like this one. Who will be with you when you travel? Are you going to travel with family or with couples or solo travelers, or you are in a business, or you will go with friends? Yeah. So this kind of question are available, and then it will give you the recommendation. So this is a context. And this context will be different on the rating. The time of year when you do the travel. So it will be also different. And what language do you use? It can be also different. So usually, this kind of things, it is the user survey. You know, when you finish traveling with airline or after you book a hotel, you will get a kind of survey. If you review this one, you will get a Starbucks coffee. Okay, so you want to get your data. And then in the TripAdvisor, you can see some kind of review. Okay. So this kind of review is also good for the recommendation. And then this survey. So this survey is also a context. What sort of trip was this? Is it a business trip or a couple trip or family trip or a trip with friends, or it's a solo trip? So when did you travel? So this kind of question is also another way to get the user context. So this is an example about the another app. Okay, this mobile app in. I'm not sure. So they ask you whether this experience is what is your opinion about your experience? Is it more about imaginative or you open to a new experience? So if it is agree strongly, then okay, you can find some users who are eagerly to have a new experience, then you can recommend this one. And then context, direct context collection is this one. If a hotel, yeah, it is related with the distance. Is it far from your start location? Or maybe if you join conference, yeah, is it far from the conference location? What was your feeling during the stay? And how long did you stay? And so on. So this is also another context, and you can have more information based on the context. This is about music. If you join the Spotify, yeah, you can look at the genre based on the mood, and yeah, what kind of music you want, or whether you are still work out, yeah, when you are doing the sport or exercise, or are you now in the travel and etc. So they will ask you, and then when you click, then they get the information about your context. So in this case, the context is predefined. So you choose what is the context, and then after we know your profile, Spotify will give you the music. What is the best music during your context? In another app like Google Music, yeah, they have also some kind of context. So you need to predefine whether you are working out or you are cleaning the house or you are hanging out or you are relaxing at home. So different contexts will give you different type of music. Or you can also have the context based on the user behavior. Who is your friend? Okay. So if you are going to vote, are you looking at your friend's comment? When you are going to vote, are you going to look who is your friend view your vote? Or someone who share your vote? So in the social media, we have a lot of like information that we can collect. So if this kind of information that you can collect, so it is another context. How many read, how many review, how many view, so how many people who buy the product, how many people who share your post, how many people who watch your videos, and etc. Okay, so in the context relevance and the context selection, so there are apparently not all of the contexts are relevant or influential. Even though you can get a lot of data, but not all of them are relevant. Not all of them can affect the recommendation system. So if you do the survey, which one are important for you, Mr. Wu? If you are using the lot of data, if there are so many dimensions, you can use feature selection. So the feature selection, you can use the PCA or LDA to choose which context is more important. Or you can use some statistical analysis or detection on the contextual rating. So some kind of statistical tests, Freeman tests, or some other information. Like in the decision tree, we have information gain, we have the mutual information, and others. So there are some public data set for the research purpose. If you, I think some of you already, most of you already choose your data set for your team project. if you still want to change or you want to have another challenge, you can use this data set. This data set, they have the context. So not only rating, but they have more context about the food, whether someone prefer the food, this one because of they go with friends or they go with someone. Movies, music, travel, and mobile. So Frappe is the large data set, and the other is like small and sparse. You know, sparse. There are many few. Yeah, if you would like to analyze this kind of data, I give you the link so you can look at the data set. Okay, let's have a break. Okay, I will continue after the break.